Today, I'll begin my speech on why I believe legal drinking age should be lowered. I believe this is a problem because teenagers see this as being cool or rebellious by doing this, and it causes them in the long run to be heavy drinkers because their parents have always told them, hey, you can't do this, which causes them, everybody knows here, they leave the house at crazy hours of the night, go get drunk, and come back and your parents are wondering, oh, why is my kid puking everywhere? Well, because they went to a party and got really drunk. This is just the exact same way as like with little kids when you tell them they can't have chocolate or snacks, that eventually they'll get it and they won't stop eating it, which will cause them in the long run to become obese. But today I'll be talking about why maybe it should be lowered, the statistics are related to this, and the 1987 law, and what we can do to improve this and cause the problem with drinking to be lowered. Why it should be lowered in my opinion? Many reasons why I believe this. One, at 18, you can buy a house, serve in a jury, get married, apply for a loan, buy a gun, and serve your country, but they say you can't have a beer. That's what I find really crazy, especially me being from Canada. You can't own a gun, and I mean, if you do, you have to go through immense training, and nobody owns a gun. They'd rather get a drink of beer, and then most of my friends are in the military, so they're allowed to drink a beer before they go off, which I find should be allowed, because if you're serving your country, why the hell can't you have a beer? And the whole gun part, I found that crazy because in Canada, I'll talk about later, is we do drink more in Canada, or there's more people drinking, but in the US, there's actually heavier alcoholics here, and more people drinking more than in Canada. But yeah. So this makes it here, it makes it seem like they care more about people drinking underage, so it's they care about people college students having less fun than protecting them against the gun laws, which I find crazy because, like I said before, you can walk around with a concealed weapon, but you cannot go to the bar and drink. And they say that they're so concerned about the gun laws and whatnot, but why do they make it so much harder for you to get beer than to get a gun? Which I find pretty crazy. And if they say you can't, if you're not an adult, you can't drink till you're an adult, then why are we allowed to do everything else? Vote, buy a gun, as I said before, buy a house, get married. How does that make any sense? Because
what's the legal drinking age in Canada?
It depends where. In Ontario, it's 19. Quebec and most other provinces, it's 18.
Okay.
And also by lowering the age, I believe it'll cause kids to realize what their legal limit is before they get to the age of 21, where they're already driving a car, owning a gun. So they won't go out and do stupid things before they've learned how to control their intake. Because if someone's drunk for the first time and they have a gun on them, they get in a fight, I'm pretty sure if they feel threatened, they'll pull out the gun before. So statistics go into this. So after the 21-year-old law they incorporated here in the US in 1987, Dr. Clifford did an experiment, or a survey I should say, on college students, and she found that the numbers increased with drinking. So 9% before a class, students would miss class to go drinking, and that increased after the 21-year-old law. It went up to 12% after this law. Also from this article, she said that kids who miss class the morning after from drinking, us going to CAF on a Thursday. It started at 26%, but it rose to 28%, which it's not a huge increase, but there's still some increase showing that this didn't really work. And they also said 32% of underage drinkers here are heavy drinkers, while only 24% of people of legal age are heavy drinkers. So that's a bit of a bigger number. And also in this article from Dr. Clifford, she said that there is a lot more physical aggression too, the fights have gone on, bar fights, and I can't remember if she said murders, but there were some incorporated with that. So which is kind of crazy because in Canada, I didn't search it up, but from my experience, the crime rates here are way higher. There's a lot more deaths here due to guns or violence. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why we should here incorporate that law and, as I'll talk about later, increase the law for legal gun or owning a gun. Comparing to Canada, less students are drinking here, but in the States they drink way more. Oh, I thought you were.
No.
From the article, more Canadians drink, but American students drink more. Comparing college alcohol use in two countries, in the States, 29.4%. Sorry, in Canada, 29.4% of Canadians, males, are heavy drinkers, while 35.4% of American males are. This is all at the college level. While 31.2% of American females compared to 30.7% of female Canadians are heavy drinkers, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think back home that the females drank more than men, but that's a bit crazy for me. But this provides proof that the legal drinking age here doesn't really work. It's actually causing people to drink more and become heavier drinkers from that. Finally, there's many different ways of going about this and how to cause this to go down, like the alcohol abuse to go down. And this is obviously to lower the drinking age, get people to know what their legal limit is, as I stated before, and also along with this, I'm not sure because this is my first time going away from home for school, so I know in Canada we have a lot more to bring in awareness for it. Like our teachers won't say, oh no, it's really bad, you're gonna die from it. But they tell us if you're gonna go do this, make sure you have a plan to get back home, or when you do feel like you're gonna puke, do these certain steps. And by doing this will help students learn that it's not a terrible thing to do, because now it's going on with marijuana. At first everybody made it seem like it's the worst thing in the world to do and that you're gonna die from it, but then realistically it's not. It's worse, or it's better than smoking a cigarette or drinking alcohol for that matter. And this is what happened. They tried to do this during the Prohibition too, to take away alcohol, and it didn't really work out well for them and well for anybody. So they legalized it and they started making more money off it too. So in conclusion, I believe by lowering the drinking age, this will cause a decrease in heavy drinkers, and by doing this, it'll reduce the heavy drinkers and how much they intake as well.